This is Brian Murray, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Doc Bry, the Physics Guy. Hi everyone, this is the second part of a post I'm doing on black holes. Now, if you haven't listened to the first part, it might be worth going and having a listen to that first, otherwise this one's not going to make a great deal of sense. We've reached a point in the story where we're going to have a go for the Einstein's field equations. We are without fear. For this one, we find ourselves in the trenches of the First World War, where Karl Schwarzschild was serving in the German army. Now, I'm sure that I've pronounced his name wrong, but I've heard so many versions that I don't know what's right. I did hear a German pronounce it Schwarzscheld, but they pronounced the Schwarz part in a fashion that is just well beyond the vocal skill set of your average scouser. So for me, and for this one, is Karl Schwarzschild, or just Karl for short. Now, in 1915, Karl managed to get a solution to the Einstein field equations for the gravitational field outside a non-rotating sphere. You'd have to give it to this guy because he's in the middle of a war and he's still pondering away. The solution is what's known as an ideal solution. His solution doesn't rotate, and yet all stars or objects do rotate. I'm not completely sure there are any stars that don't spin. The solution had a rather bizarre property in that it contained a radius which became known as the Schwarzschild radius. It seemed that if all the mass of an object was compressed within this sphere, then it would be possible to create a situation where the escape velocity was greater than the speed of light. Furthermore, the gravity resulting from having so much mass compressed into this sphere would be the creation of a singularity. The physical significance of this singularity was debated on and off during the decades that followed. In 1931, Subramanian Chandrasekhar. Now, my mate Ravi gave me a bit of schooling on pronouncing Chandrasekhar, so I'm on better ground with that one. Chandrasekhar showed that if a star was above a certain mass, then it could actually collapse under its own gravity when its fuel ran out and shrink to a size smaller than the Schwarzschild radius. This would then become what's described as a singularity. The star would shrink and get so small that the entire star would end up smaller than an atom while having pretty much the same mass. The singularity is so small that it has no physical size. I mean, I just have a problem getting my head around that one because it's so small that it doesn't actually exist, and yet we're told that it does exist. I mean, personally, I can't help thinking that when this catastrophic collapse happens, we get ourselves a type of Bose-Einstein condensate or something, but more on that in another post. For now, we'll continue with conventional wisdom. The big star collapses to give a singularity with a massive gravity. As the distance from the singularity increases, the gravity will start to shrink, and so will the escape velocity. And at some distance from the singularity, the gravity would have diminished enough that the escape velocity is that of the speed of light. Any further, and light can happily escape from the clutches of the singularity. And this distance when the escape velocity equals the speed of light is known as the event horizon, which is the Schwarzschild radius. It's interesting to note that general acceptance of the possibility of a black hole didn't occur until the second half of the 20th century. It was only around about the 1950s, just prior to the death of Einstein, that general relativity entered mainstream theoretical physics, and the next 30 years can be described as a golden age of general relativity and black hole theories. This was helped by the discovery of pulsars by a hero of mine, Jocelyn Bell Burnell. This will be covered in a different post on neutron stars. The thinking is that if neutron stars could exist, then why not black holes? During the 1960s and the 70s, contributions from Roger Penrose and Stephen Hawking, James Bardeen and Jacob Birkenstein helped solidify the ideas of black holes by developing a number of theories describing the properties and the behaviour. And it was during this time that the term black hole was first introduced to describe a singularity, and it's usually attributed to John Wheeler. Here's the thing though, although all these really clever guys have spent years pondering and coming up with theories and ideas, the question remains, do they actually exist? Well, the answer, despite what you've repeatedly been told in the media, and despite the fact that we've actually seen a picture of a black hole, is that we still don't know. What we do know is that Einstein's theory of general relativity made a number of other predictions that have been backed up by experiment. So if we work on the basis that these positive results show that the theory may be correct, then it makes sense to assume that some other predictions, such as black holes, might also be true. That's why we think there are black holes. We don't know for sure, despite what everybody claims. The bottom line is another theory may come along which explains the things that Einstein got right and have been tested, and then goes on to show why black holes can't exist. I mean, someone has already published such a paper. Personally, I'm not sure about black holes. I mean, if they do exist, the idea of a singularity is just plain upsetting. It just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, I can accept neutron stars, and I can believe that gravity can get so great that even the Pauli exclusion principle, the theory explaining why neutron stars don't collapse to black holes, may be overcome. But that's where it ends for me. Though, as I've said in the past, nature doesn't care what I think or what anybody else thinks, and it doesn't matter how many people back an idea or how many people say something is true. It just doesn't make it so. It may be that black holes do exist, and so do singularities. But at the moment, simply showing me a picture and telling me it's so is not going to bring me, and I suspect a whole load of other people, on board. There's no doubt that the game is afoot and the mystery is still to be solved. And who knows, maybe it'll be you who helps solve it. This is Dr. Bry, the physics guy. Hey everyone, this is Dr. Bry, the physics guy. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, can you share it with your friends, your fellow students, and anyone you think might be interested? That'd be great, and you'd be doing me a massive favour. Subscribe now so that you don't miss out on the latest episodes and news, and check out my website right now at drbry.com. That's drbry.com. And for a limited time, I'm giving away the first part of my 7 ingredients course. It's absolutely free. There's almost 40 minutes of free video explaining the course and why you have what it takes to do physics and how it can change your life forever. And there's also a free download that you can keep. All the details are on my website. I'm also on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, and all the details are there on drbry.com, drbry.com. I look forward to seeing you soon.